Hi everyone, happy Friday. Welcome back to Barre with Sarah. I'm Sarah, and today I'm doing a little bit of a special, I don't want to say surprise stretch target because I didn't plan it, but a stretch target for the back of the legs, the hamstrings. So hopefully you've already seen the channel, the one for the hip flexors and quads, for the glutes and outer hips, and we're just moving down the leg to get everything. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. So for this workout today, the things that you're going to need are support. If you have one that's got some elevation, I'm going to recommend that because we are going to give you the option to do an elevated stretch. You can also use a table, a chair, a stool. I've also got 2 blocks to show you a modification. If you don't have blocks, I also recommend you can have books or again, something else to provide some support. A towel can come in handy, especially with your support. You can also grab a strap, a belt, or a longer towel that you can use in one of our other stretches. So I did a little mini warm-up before. I did some cardio before, so I'm nice and warm. We're going to do a mini warm-up, but if you're feeling super sore, I would recommend adding this after a workout so your muscles are nice and long and rubbery. Okay, so we still are going to do a little warm-up, and we're going to start just with some hamstring curls. So to do a hamstring curl, you step and pull, step and pull. So this music is nice and slow. We're warming the muscles without getting too sweaty. I'm going to turn on profile. So for that hamstring curl, you can see I'm pulling towards the heel, towards the glutes. You can put your hands on your hips, or you can do those reach and pull arms. Reach and pull, nice job. Again, just trying to warm everything up. Feeling the heart rate come up, just gently. Nice job. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to continue to warm up with some low squats. We've done these before. So you're going to take your feet out a little bit wider than hip distance. You're going to go ahead and bend those knees, and you're going to come and roll down and take your right hand to your right ankle and your left hand to your left ankle. So for these low squats, all we're doing is coming down and up. So you're going to have to pick the range of motion based on your flexibility. So it goes down and up, down and up. So if you're tight, you can stay at the top of that move and maybe keep your legs a little more bent. Or you can go lower and up, lower and up. Nice job. Give me 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Nice job. Just go ahead and hang over. Yeah, I'm going to grab my block. You're seeing hanging. I'm just going to grab my blocks because it's going to give us some modifications. Okay, so coming back down. You're going to go ahead and inhale, those hands pressing into the shins, lengthening through the crown of the head. So like something's coming straight out the crown of my head. And now bend those knees and relax in the forward. Inhale, hands to shins. So shins, not knees. Could also be up here. Rolling those shoulders back. Exhale, bend the knees forward. Do a couple more of those. Pressing into shins. Pressing the shoulders away, crown of the head long, and exhale. Inhale, hands to shins, press in, press the shoulders away, chin tuck. Bending the knees, coming over and just hanging. So this is where that block or that book might come in handy. So we're going to go ahead and take the right hand in towards that left foot. And we're going to start to straighten this right leg. So you could be here, you could be here. This might be enough for you. And as you straighten this left leg, I want you to bend into that right leg. So straighter left leg, that right leg. And if you want a little more, that right hand near the left foot, you can take that left hand up and twist. So you're going to feel now not only the hamstring, but into that outer hip and glute. Inhale, exhale. We're going to do that on the other side. So now this left leg is going to bend. We're going to sit into that hip. We're going to straighten that right leg. You can stay right there. Take your left hand to the inside of the right foot. You can see my hands on that block. And that's twist up and over. Sometimes I don't know what it's all about. This empty feeling. And inhale back to center. Let's soften both those knees and again roll over. Maybe bringing your hands into ragdoll. Go ahead and bend those knees. Roll up to standing. One vertebra at a time. And a few little shoulder rolls. All right, we're going to come into a more traditional hamstring stretch. A good modification for this is to use a footstool. I've got my 2 yoga blocks that I stacked here in these books. So go ahead and we'll take that left leg forward. And I've got my support. So hopefully you can see I'm flexing that toe. I'm going to sit. I'm going to sink down, bend this right leg. Wow, words. So if you're going to see here again, we want to think about opening that hamstring. So flexing that toe, thinking about dragging that left hip back a little bit. So if you're really tight, I want you to stay here. If you want to progress, we can go and elevate it a little bit more and support. So we've done this before in class, making sure in both cases our hips are square. Flexing that foot. Inhale, exhale. And if you're able to round towards that foot or move towards it, that's good. But as always, we're pulling that chest through, not dropping the head. Think about continuing to pull this glute and this hip back just a little bit. Okay, stay here. You stay there. Or if you want to add a little bit more stretch, we can add the strap. Or the belt or the towel. It's just going around the ball of that foot. We've done this on the ground. I like the standing version. So again, pulling that chest through. Flexing that foot. One good thing with that strap is it helps you play with the angle a little bit. So you can move the toes towards the midline. You can move the toes away from the midline. Just finding the part of that hamstring complex that's most sore free. Inhale. And exhale. All right, let's set that up on the other side. So again, let me remind you of our modification. And really, just pick one that feels good to you. If you're clenching your muscles, if you can't breathe, then go back to a previous version. That's your body's way of telling you too much. So now putting that right foot, the right heel up on those blocks, that footstool, bending. Again, we still have a nice flat back. So I'm not arching, I'm not bending. making sure this knee is soft. Okay, so stay there, or you can come up onto that support. Now, this is my tight side. So you want a strong leg, but we don't want to lock out, so just a little bend for me. Inhale, exhale, pull the chest through. And as that stretch fades, you can move closer to that foot, again, nice and flexed. So stay there. Or noisily add that strap. Now just because we add that strap, we're still staying active in that stretch. So we're not just letting the leg flop, we're not just using the strap to control the leg, we're still thinking about pulling back. Whew. All right, help your leg down. All right, we're gonna do a little quad release. We did this in our quad videos, a hamstring release. So taking right hands for right foot. Tucking that hip under, drawing that knee back. Again, when we're stretching one of these muscles, we're using the other. So it's important when we do a hamstring stretch to do a little quad release. All right, let's switch that out. And again, you could be holding on. Okay. So next we're going to go into triangle. Triangle is a pretty intense stretch. So I'm going to set you up with some different modifications for triangle. This is where blocks or books really come in handy. But no, if it's too intense, you can always come right back to that back of the leg stretch that we were just doing. Okay, so let's come into our triangle. And I'm going to take my blocks, and I'm going to have one available in each hand. It will shortly. So I'm going to take that right foot forward and that left foot back. And as I'm looking down, I'm in parallel hips distance, even though my legs are a little bit further apart. So for the first version of triangle, you can hold that support and pitch that body forward. We're trying to keep these legs as straight as possible. We're trying to keep that pelvis and torso in alignment. This is pretty intense. So we're feeling it on the back of the front leg and a little bit on this leg, also some bonus. So you can stay here. You can also pop that front toe, again, pulling through. Or if you're ready to progress, this is where these blocks come in handy. Having a blocker book for each hand. Thinking about, again, keeping those hips turned down. And bringing that chest more parallel. Continue to think about pulling this right hip, this hip where the leg is forward, back. And I'm using these blocks, but I'm not collapsing into them. So I could, if I wasn't looking at you, I could take my hands off because my legs are growing that way. And with each exhale, you're seeing if there's a little bit more space. If you cramp, you can just release those legs. I'm going to come down a little bit more. And again, strong through the chest. Try to turn those hips a little more parallel this last few seconds. All right, go ahead and bend up those knees just a little bit. Roll up. And we're going to switch. So again, reminder, that modified version, bringing that left leg forward, right leg back. I'm in parallel with square hips. And then I'm going to come down. And I'm going to hold that support. Pop that toe. grab those blocks and come down. And again, pulling this hip back just a little bit. It's more, the pulling is more to activate it in our minds to think about where the stretch is rather than yanking that hip way back. And again, testing yourself that your legs are holding that weight. You can take your hands off those blocks. Again, maybe coming down further. This is my flexible side. But again, you can see I'm strong in the upper body, so we're not rounding yet. Staying nice and strong. All right, go ahead and soften those knees for me. Move your blocks out of the way, and we're going to come back and do a downward dog. So those feet are still in parallel hip distance and just rolling through. Now, if you're really, really tight, your feet, your heels don't have to touch. You can also, let's come to a static dog. You can keep your knees bent and keep your heels high. Hopefully you're feeling a little more warm, so I'm going to take those heels all the way down, thinking about nice strong quads. And let's pedal again. And coming to static, really pressing, shooting that seat nice and high. Biceps spiraling. It's hard to talk with braces. Spiraling in towards the ears. And go ahead and come down and sit back in a child's pose for me. All right, go ahead and roll it up. Okay, we're going to come into staff. Just a yoga name for a straight leg. This is a straight leg stretch. I'll need you later. Okay, so for staff pose, we're going to have our legs out in front of us. And what I want you to do to get into a good staff pose is we're going to walk the butt back. So walk, walk, walk. We're going to think about contracting those quadriceps, flexing the toes, rolling the shoulders up, down, around, back. This might be enough of a stretch for you. This might be too much of a stretch for you. If it's too much, you can just get a slight bend in those knees. This is not enough stretch for you. I'm just going to walk forward. And again, my hands are here on the floor, but I could use some blocks, pulling that chest through. Let's walk it up. Give me a little twist and a little twist. All right, we're going to go ahead and do that again, and then we're going to fold forward. So I'm going to move my blocks out of the way just so you can see. Give me a walk, walk, walk. So nice flat back, quads contracted, toes forward. And we're going to walk down, pulling that chest through. Do a little bit more. And we're going to fold over. Now you're going to feel this release up the back as well. So go ahead and relax those feet, fold over. And if you want to move it even more up the back, I'm going to have you create some space underneath your knees. You're going to take your hands and hug your knees. So my feet, I'm on my heels, and you're going to roll over again. And go ahead and walk it up. Okay, we're gonna come all the way down onto the mat. Those heels are gonna be planted and we're just gonna windshield wiper back and forth with your arms out of T. So release that low back. And let's hug both knees into the chest and maybe some little circles. I can tell by my back stiffness what target you'll be getting next. All right, we're gonna go into our final stretch and it's a single leg, back of the leg stretch. I'm gonna get my strap because that's a good thing to use. This one's pretty intense, so listen for all the modifications. So I'm gonna start with that left leg just because it's closer to you. And this right leg is gonna stay grounded. So if you're feeling really tight, it's probably good to keep that foot on the ground. You can also extend that leg out. That's just gonna intensify the stretch. Okay, so we're gonna be reaching for this leg here. Could be behind the thigh. But if you're able to, I'm gonna recommend first reaching towards the calf. And we're pulling that leg in towards the chest. And flex that foot. If you want to progress, you can take that left hand to the outside of that foot to hold on. And again, modification is this hand here, this foot here. You can also use the strap. Stay here, we're going to start straightening that leg. And this is where playing with it and finding the right angle for you matters. So straightening that leg. Trying to relax the gripping in the foot. It could be that you need to be more vertical. Take it out here. All right, let's switch that up. So planting that left leg, bringing that right leg up, grabbing if you're really tight behind the hamstring, trying to reach for that calf, extending that left leg. Again, the tighter you are, the more bend you're going to want to have in this leg. I'm going to reach for the outside, kind of pulling that knee more into the chest. And then if you'd like to progress, if it feels good, you can straighten that leg. Maybe moving it more towards the midline. Ooh, that's tight. Bend a little. Or taking it further away from the midline. Keeping that toe flexed as you're able. All right, go ahead and bring your leg back in. Now roll onto our side and I'll do one more juicy forward fold as a way to end this target today. So planting those hands, fold over. Now straightening those legs as you're able, noticing the difference that you feel in that back body. Softening those knees, rolling that one grip at a time, head to off. All right, thank you for joining me today for Barre with Sarah and this back of the leg target. Just a reminder, flexibility is a practice. If you're not feeling very flexible today, that's okay. Our bodies vary day to day, month to month, depending on what we're doing. And if you're noticing that you're a little tight, it's a great signal to do more flexibility and mobility work to make sure that your body stays nice and healthy. So be safe, be well. I will see you for our regular class next Monday, February 1st. It is going to be a body weight, mainly upper body workout. I hope to see you then. Thanks, everyone. Bye.